June 6th. Now, where is that going to be? We don't know yet. We don't know how many people we're going to bring. We don't know how big the space is. So that we need to do this tonight so we have a sense of exactly how to plan for that. So some of you may be asking, how can I know exactly how many people I'll have? Well, there are some things that work in that regard, and so I want to go over those pretty quickly. If June 6th is not already on your congregational calendar, make sure it's in your congregational calendar, make sure it's in the bulletin, make sure it goes out in all your various different communication tools, but don't expect anyone to turn out because of that. You know what I'm talking about. The only people that we can count on are people who sign up on paper saying, yes, I will be there. And as they are signing up on a piece of paper, they look at you or your pastor or a deacon or your rabbi in the eye and say, yes, I will be there. Those are the only people that we will count. We actually can't even count on all of them. So we need to, if we want 100, count 30% lower than that. So if your goal is to get 100 people there from your congregation, that means you need 130 people signed up on paper with their phone numbers. Because a week before, a volunteer needs to call them and say, hey, we are counting on you to be there next week. We have a seat reserved for you. And then the night before, to call them and say, hey, do you need a carpool? We're counting on you to be there. So that's a lot of phone calls, right? So that means between now and June 6th, probably between now and the beginning of May, right after Easter or Passover or whatever holiday you're celebrating, to bring your turnout team together to plan out how you are going to organize that. Now, there's a temptation, especially in the last 5 years, to hope that technology will solve the problem of turnout. That if we just tweet it, people will show up. You might say, oh, they tweeted it in Egypt and 1 million people showed up. So I can just tweet it and 1 million people will show up. They will not show up on June 6th because you tweet it. There's, every now and then, lightning in a bottle has, people have caught lightning in a bottle with Facebook, with tweeting. All that's fine. If you're into that, let people know about it. But you can't count those people. The only people you can count on are the people that you sign up and that you can call twice, and you can offer a ride or a carpool the day of. So thinking about how you can organize that sort of discipline realistically, but also pushing yourself, I ask you now to take 5-10 minutes, break out again by congregation, and make a pledge to each other about how many people that you can commit to bring on June 6th. I think most of you I've given a roll call form, at least one per congregation. If your delegation does not have one of these roll call forms, raise your hand and I'll find you. So we're going to break up in congregations, and then